Hello guys, just a fast video to show you how to begin to complete this worksheet. This one right here at the top is going to give you all of the information that you need to be able to fill out the bottom. When you're filling out the worksheets, only thing you're going to need to fill out are the bold numbers right here on the side. Some people are writing them in on blank sheets of paper, and that's fine. If you're doing that, you can put things like number 1, and then you're going to come over here and you can put A equals 4 or B equals whatever the number would be. Okay. And here, these ones get a little bit more complicated if you're hand copying them, but you only have to do this part right here. You don't have to copy the instructions or anything like that. I know all of that stuff. And just do your best when it comes to copying these things down. I know it's hard if you have to do a hand copy because you don't have a printer. So do the best that you can. Let's come up here at the top for me, please. The first thing to look at is whole notes. Whole notes are worth 4 beats. Over here we have half notes. Half notes are going to be worth 2 beats. And here are our quarter notes, and quarter notes are going to be worth 1 beat. And so down here they're showing you the direction that staves go. Number 3, magic number 3, is where we have our rule, which says when you have line number 3 and the notes go up, the line comes down and it goes to the left. And that's what it says right here. Okay, the left side, and they're coming downward. Sorry, guys. Okay. And once again, we're hitting that magic number 3. So anything underneath number 3, with the notes coming from underneath number 3, those ones, the stems go upward and they go to the right side. Okay. And then down here, they're showing you about how long to make the stem. You don't want to make it super long and you don't want to make it super short. It's about the same length as what an entire staff would be. So then we're coming down here. Number 1 is just some basic math. This half note is worth 2 beats. If that half note's worth 2 beats, how many quarter notes that are worth 1 beat do we need? So obviously this guy's worth 1, these guys are worth 2. We want to make them equal. We need to have 2 quarter notes to every half note. That's what that's saying. A whole note is going to be worth 4 beats. Each one of these is worth 1 beat. So how many whole notes do we need to equal 4 quarter notes? The answer there is 1. I'm going to let you go D, E, and F without me, but if you're lost, remember, look up here at the top to help you, and look to my examples to help you here. Now here, all they want you to do is draw in the stems. It doesn't matter if it's treble clef or bass clef. Treble clef means high notes. Bass clef means low notes. So it doesn't matter if it's high notes or low notes. Remember the magic number 3 line. So I'm going to pick up a different color pencil, and I'm going to try to highlight that line number 3, okay? Give me 1 second, guys. Alrighty, so I'm back. Sorry about that. I needed both hands. Alrighty, so I've highlighted that line number 3 for us. And with that rule, now it's easy. Remember, anything that's under the line, the stem comes up. Anything that's over the line, the stem comes down. So that sort of kind of makes that easy. Sort of messed that one up. He needs to join the circle part. There you go. So that gives you an example. And remember, it doesn't matter if it's high notes or if it's low notes. Oh, here's one right on the line. When it's on the line, it tells us on the line's going to come down. So you're going to put that stem coming down just like that. And I'll give you one more. There you go. So there's some examples for you to get started with. And I'm going to let you finish out the rest of that line that I did not do with you. Now here they're asking you to know the names of the notes. And we haven't not gotten into naming notes yet for some of my classes. So I will put a cheat off to the side to help you guys, okay? Here's where it goes. Our lines are every good boy deserves fudge. And our spaces is F, A, C, E. And I'll do that over here on the end because it's a little bit easier to see where it's not so jumbled. F, A, C, E. Alrighty, so when it comes to naming the notes, do the best you can, but they're asking you to use treble clef up here and bass clef down there. If you want to use treble clef on both, that's fine. I don't mind. In fact, that's probably preferred, so you get a little bit better. And I'll put a nice little guide down at the bottom as well for this stuff to make it a little bit easier to see down here. So they said C whole note. So we're going to come up here. C is third space up. So we're going to count up 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. There's our C whole note. So that's that one. And A quarter note. A is the second space. So we're going to count up 2 spaces. 1, 2. Quarter notes we color in and we put on our stem. And then we're coming like that. And an E half note. We have 2 different E's to choose from. One's a line note and one's a space note. So we're going to do the line note because I've had 2 space notes so far. The line note E is down on the very first line. So down here, and they want a half note. So we're going to keep it open because half notes are not colored in. We go like that. Okay, so I gave you a few to start. I'm going to let you finish out that line without me. And then if we're, you can challenge yourself if you want to use bass clef. If you're an older student, I'll put bass clef and treble clef both down here. But truly, it's okay if you want to do treble clef. Just mark at the front if you're going to do treble clef for me. Bass clefs are pretty fun to draw. Bass clefs are just a dot with a backward C and 2 little dots right next to it like a colon. So that one's bass clef. But remember, you don't have to use bass clef. You can use treble clef. That's fine. And I'll do a few down here for you. We used the line note E here. So now let's use the space note here. The space note is F, A, C, top space E. F, A, C, top space E for our half note. The next one was a D quarter note. So using these guys up here, D is a line note. Every good boy D deserves. So we're going to do our lines. Every good boy D for deserves fudge. D quarter note. And our last one we have is an A whole note that I'm going to give you. And that's our second space. F, A, F. Here's our A whole note. So they're combining the letter names along with the value. Okay. Last thing I'm going to put at the bottom of the page that I'm going to then scan and put in for you is going to be the treble clef guide. Okay. Really fast for the second page. Once again, everything that you need to be successful is located across the top of this page. So if you look up there, that will help you. If you are copying things down, just do your best. You don't have to copy it perfectly. The first one, biggest thing with this one is just read and follow directions. It says divide the staff into 4 measures. That's the important thing. Make sure you have a double bar at the end. All right, so we're going to come over here. We probably want to start, the one that they gave you as a sample doesn't start with a treble or a bass clef, so that's okay. You don't have to put it in here, but they do want 4 measures, 2, 3, and 4. And if that's the last measure, then the last measure we put a base double bar line. So it should look something like that. Okay. Over here, they say first step is draw a treble clef. That's this guy right here. Divide it into 4 measures with a double bar at the end, and then write any whole note we want. So they're sort of showing us where they want those whole notes to be. So we're going to divide it this way into those natural things. They said to make sure you have a bar line. So don't forget that double bar line that I already put in, which is right here. And then you can write in any whole note you want and make sure you put in the name. So let's do it something easy. We'll do our space notes. So here's F, A, C, and E, because we can choose anything we like. And here's F, A, C, E. You choose whatever you like. That's fine. You don't have to worry about number 3. That's the bass clef. I'm not concerned with those notes. And then the grand staff is pretty fun. This just joins both of them together. And they show you up here what this should look like. Okay. So there's that. There's the little curly Q. We put in a treble clef at the top. Have fun just drawing in that bass clef. And then it says divide it into 4 measures. Don't forget your double bar. And then they want half notes. So we're going to do, you can tell, once again, they naturally show you where they want those half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, double bar at the end. And then you can do, I'm going to put in a scale. So there's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and the last note would be C. And then we're going to come in here and put in our letters. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You do not need to put in, don't worry about anything if it says, yeah, I'm not seeing anything with bass clef in here. The biggest thing is they want to make sure that you are putting in the stems in the spots that they need to be in. Okay, so do your best. That's all I can ask. Have fun, and I will definitely give you feedback if you choose to do these activities and send them in to me. Thank you, and have a fantastic day. Bye bye, guys.